1, 2, 3. The biggest mistake that artists make is thinking it's all about the music. It's a business as well.
They sold 25 tickets.
25 is a lot. All my albums were recorded like Emva Omnyango. You record.
Yes, actually, soundproofing, girl. Like you own, but you don't own assets. Yes, I do. I have this repertoire. This is IP. It's intellectual property. It is property. And your boys make some money, build some wealth.
I don't care, you can be the greatest rapper. If you do not have Lezinto Azibalile, unfortunately, you won't go anywhere.
And that's why you found a lot of our legends died broke because they didn't own anything. And artists get desperate and say, hey, I'm seeing R1 million and they sign their lives away.
Industry, it's stressful. Everyone acts natural. Welcome back to another episode of Financial Tea, where we get real about money and life. Today, we are quite literally turning up the volume as we speak about the creator economy. How do we get artists, to build wealth in an industry that is historically known to underpay them? One of our guests that we have today, who needs absolutely no introduction, a man by the name of Sjava, a South African award-winning artist. We also have Nothando Migogo, who is a music powerhouse, someone who's been pushing for the rights of artists and equal pay. Lastly, we also have Leroy Khoza. He is a record label exec at Inkabi, as well as a creator. I want to start, with the big picture. Right, which is this economy that we're currently living in. We know that the creator economy kind of supports and builds a lot of jobs and a lot of businesses, but we don't necessarily feel like there is that support. What do you think needs to change in the industry in order to, support artists? And this is more from a policy perspective.
Yeah, I think the entire ecosystem needs more structured frameworks, and it starts, like you're saying, from policy, it goes into legislation, it goes into the business aspects of the actual industry. Currently, the Copyright Act still in force today is the 1978 piece of legislation. We're still trying to pass this Copyright Act that actually puts into legislation things like streaming. Our current Copyright Act doesn't actually recognize streaming of music. And after that is the industry itself. Historically, you've only had the major, the powerhouses, so very few institutions without a lot of independent and other kind of structures. And so we need more of that, where more professionals, more informed managers, more lawyers, more accountants, more tax practitioners. That's what makes an industry. You don't see a professional athlete and say, oh, you must know everything about biokinetics, whatever, everything about nutrition or anatomy. No, the industry works because they're professionals around that person. Artists need the same thing. Creators need the same thing. They need to be able to hire people who know how to invest their money.
Yeah, and Sjava, you were just shaking your head when she started speaking about just the lack of legislation and policy. What are your sentiments around it?
Talking about tax yesterday, she opened my eyes and how is your tax? Okay, this is what's happening. Understand that after that we went elokuzeni kwenye indawo talking about indaba zokubeka imali and investing money. Ngokusebenza naye ngifundile the importance of ukuba ne-team. So njengobesho, that's yiyo into efunakalayo kahle kahle whereby you have a team yabantu abaziyo ukuthi benzani, so that wena wenze lokho kwaziyo and have wonke umuntu adlala indima yakhe for that thing to grow. I don't care, you can be the greatest rapper, you can be the greatest singer, but if you do not have Lezinto Azibalile, unfortunately you won't go anywhere. We've seen it before, we've seen the greatest artists now. But because they come from the hood, because they come from rural areas, they all died, they all suffered, but they had all the talent. Why? It's because bebengenalo ulwazi lalezinto lezi akhuluma ngazo.
And Leroy, as the man behind the artist as well, what do you have to add to that in terms of the support that artists need?
We are in a very sensitive industry, the creative space, which is all about copyright and IP. How do we take that creation and turn it into something that is viable, that is seen as a business? And I moved from corporate into the creative space, and I realized that in as much as people love the business of, or rather not even the business, but love our industry, they look at it from an art point of view and not necessarily from a business point of view. Our industry was hit hard when it came to issues of piracy, etc., etc. So the industry was not seeing money from a sales point of view, right? So we're looking at live predominantly. And we had to go in, put together our own shows.
Yeah.
Putting together a show is expensive. I mean, as Nothando was saying earlier, they went to a PE, no support, spent hundreds of thousands trying to put this thing together. And they lost the money.
Yeah.
To most businesses that are small, such a move could collapse the entire business.
Understandably.
I mean,
cash flow especially,
because you can't go anywhere to get that necessary support. Or even the music, the rights in themselves that are where artists are supposed to be earning from are not properly legislated and regulated. For us, the backbone of our business has really been live, has really been in the understanding of developing brands so that we can collaborate with corporate and really build structures that focus on certain things that are positive, that help us progress.
What are artists missing in understanding royalties, licensing, and copywriting?
There's copyright in the composition, then there's copyright in the master. Those are two separate things. In the composition, the royalty organizations that license and collect for the copyright in the composition, that's your SAMRO, your Capasso, and in South Africa. So that's how you collect as a composer. If you're an artist, a performing artist, those rights stay in the copyright in the master, and that's where the actual performer has a right to a royalty stream, and that's, they call it needle time, and that you'll get from SAMPRA. Being members of these organizations is important so that when your music plays, you're able to collect. These organizations pay for play. You can have a song, but if it's not being played on public platforms, you're not going to earn royalties. You get royalties for syncs. Sync is when, I get my song on a Coca-Cola advert. And then
that's where the money...
Yeah, I get money for that. Because copyright is the poor cousin of IP, unfortunately. If we can find a system where artists, composers can quantify their copyright and use it and be able to determine future value. Like you go in the backyard, but you don't own asset. Yes, I do. I have this repertoire. This is IP. It's intellectual property. It is property.
Artists just want to create, and what's hindering them is investment and the access to these budgets to create an even bigger creator economy. What advice do you give to the artists under your label on how to turn their creativity into a business?
When you build a business, you want to build it for a longer period of time, for the long term, right? And the biggest issue that we've had in the past is that with big labels, they never allowed the artists to own anything, to own their music. To get into a studio and make music back in the day was very costly and expensive. You can never be in a position to dictate ownership if you can't have capacity to produce and make the content yourself. Secondly, the controlled distribution, right? So, we come from a physical market where, it was a CD. We didn't have social media back then. Sjava today has direct access to a community. And that's why you found a lot of, our legends died broke because they didn't own anything. Because now accessibility to creating studio equipment and that's we can do it at home, in your back room, a dusty, a car, you know what I'm saying, and make that music. Now you've got the opportunity to own, right? So firstly, own this content.
Now labels on distribution and publishing.
It's
and all
changed.
that.
The greatest thing now that labels will offer you is just an advance or money. And artists get desperate and say, hey, I'm seeing R1 million or 500,000, so let me go sign, and they sign their lives away. So, the greatest advice for me is do short-term deals, as an example. Do an album or two if you desperately need the support. So that, you can build your brand, build some capacity, and be able to proceed. You know what I mean? I know Sjava as an example. He owns the business, part of the business together with, Nothando, which is great for him. Now he's building a legacy business.
What support do you guys think you need as artists, not only from the state, but maybe sometimes from big business, to support artists and kind of build this creator community?
you know, as our creatives who have dreams, we can have an idea of shooting a music video on top of a drunken spec, but I can't afford a chopper, for example. Or support drunken so that we're able to do everything on the highest level, because right now, Leroy, with everything is out. Like all my albums were recorded like Emva Omnyango, basically. No rough, Leroy Khoza la. Record.
Yes, Ajadi soundproofing too.
Everything that I've done to get where I am today has always been on a budgeting line. So I think it's support more than anything. It is financial support that we need, because yonke into esenzayo, all the shows we have done, twenza ngemali yethu, asinayiponza. We use our own money to do all those things that we're doing. But look at how far we got. We need to be able to do yonke into esenzayo on the highest level, because I think by doing that, the industry na ingakhula, because even more people will be employed. You understand that there's so much that will happen. And izinto ey'fana nalezi whereby we get to call an artist or sibe nama-conversation kanje nabo babe khona, because unfortunately abantu abaningi in the industry come from le ndawo bengiyibala, either townships or rural areas, so we're not educated, we don't know much. Into esiyaziyo yile khona lelo uNkulunkulu asiphe lona. So financial support and knowledge
And
support,
education,
information, education support. I think worldwide, I think South Africa, everyone knows when it comes to Ntozama talent. I don't think, even right now, there's no one making anything better than us.
Advice to artists who want to be successful and build wealth from each of you?
Yabona nje uma nginozulu mina sidlela inyama lapha hostel. We know ukuthi uNothando noLeroy bayasebenza while sidlela inyama sicula. From lokho kucula sidlela inyama sekunengoma imkhaya sami so-record. And then masiqeda ukwenza konke leyo nto siyabuya sithi nawo umsebenzi. And then abantu abanolwazi ngaleyo nto leyo, and then they take over, because ngeke ukwenze konke. Sithina sinenhliziyo ey'ncane kwalapha ema-ofisini singagcina sesithi get. So nje kubaluleke ngempela to have a team. Best examples mina noBig Zulu in terms of like artists that came up the generation yethu and really had teams. You understand? They're coming from where we come from. So if you do not see what that has done for us, then that means awukho serious. So guys, let's get our team.
The biggest mistake that artists make is also thinking that it's all about the music. There needs to be a structure and a team that's fully focused on knowing how to build a brand and how to build a business. And you need qualified people that understand the business, that can help shape, you know, the growth of you as a brand and the business itself. Because it's not only just the music, but it's a business as well. There's nothing you can find online. You know, you can learn the music business, you know, from beginning to end just by dedicating time.
When you choose an artist to work with, you cannot want it for the artist more than they want it for themselves. You both need to take yourself seriously, and the artist needs to want it as much for themselves.
Just to encourage corporate to identify and bring it home, because those big checks could really make a difference, you know, in the talents' lives.
Thank you very much to you all. And if you guys would like to add your voice, you can drop us a WhatsApp. We always encourage everyone, you know, to give us their opinions as well and let us know their thoughts on how we can build the creator economy. So thank you very much from myself and Old Mutual. We will see you later.
Sanibona Sjava, If I can't wait to see you guys at Botanical Gardens eThekwini. So besikhona-ke lapho ne-Old Mutual nge-24 September. And thank you to Old Mutual for allowing us to share our voices as abaculi siyabonga.
Had a wonderful time today with Old Mutual, sharing great insight about what happens in the music industry. The insight and advice that I'm giving all the creatives, information, learn as much as you can, do your research, understand the business, and ensure that you get the best team to support your vision and take your business further.
The tea of the day. I think my biggest takeaways from today was, number one, as an artist, take yourself seriously. I also think it's very important that we have some investments from big business. and for artists to understand copyright laws. Arts and culture are also very much involved in building South Africa's economy. The creative economy is our collective wealth. We need to protect it, we need to diversify it, and we need to invest into it. So from me and Old Mutual, thank you.